Hey guys, starting coming at you with another game of Total War Three Kingdoms, the only game I ever think about anymore. We're the Emperor, Liu Bei. Of course, there's some other people calling themselves Emperor. We're calling this a Great Imperial War already. We're gonna have one, you know. We're not gonna be laser focused on trying to take the Emperor's seats, you know. We're gonna be fighting at our borders here. The first order of business is to hold our enemies back everywhere, hopefully. We might need to get an army over here. Because hopefully this army in Nanman lands will be able to deal with anyone that comes up there. It's hard to walk around in here, and we have the advantage on that front. Now, he actually should be commanding this army, because he's got better movement. That's the sort of thing you're supposed to notice. We've got Lady Zhurong down here, and we are going to try to pop Shiji and get this elephant. I would really like that elephant. We're not rehashing the failures of the past, but I used to dream of having an elephant back in my day. But 3 turns, and then we're going to have the public order problem gone, or relatively gone. Like here. Yeah, I don't think it's too important to worry about any of that. We could just grab the public order here just to stabilize, which seems fine enough. No, we won't need it though, because yeah, in just a couple of turns we're gonna have 15 more than we're used to. We're going to have gotten through the initial crunch. All right, we've got some money. You know, things went well enough so far, right? We pushed up here. Cao Cao is there, but he can't really, you know, hurt us too bad. And we have, you know, 3 solid-ish armies here that are going to get better all the time. But we're just going to... Yeah, everything's fine. The girls are up here with Zhuge Liang. You know, a lot of these armies could be better, but actually we've gotten... Wow, it's negative 17% for the Imperial Guard here. You know, maybe we can't afford to do it. I thought we could afford to get these good armies there, but, you know, like, maybe, you know... It's going to take that long for him to come back together. We'll just need to do the fights manually. I wanted a stronger army. We'll see if we can get it. Alright. We'll be fine. This fellow, though, is deep into our lands, and they've got a decent enough force. Well, he might just get inside, right? Well, no, that's a bad answer. We can... If we get Shandong, that's alright. You know, we'll just... Can just deplete him and re-recruit them. Yeah. Also, hi, Luke. Like, we need to get another army... Here, yeah, we don't... Well, no, we could do it at Shandong, because this army's very beat up. Like, this is a stack that's, like, basically like a recently mustered stack. So, here at Zhongxi, that'll be just fine. We can get just, like, you know, any old thing. A redeployment, of course, would be better since I have, you know, the money for it. Yeah, are you a spy? I mean, yeah, probably. It could just be like anyone, but Yeah, we don't have any armies I want to send up here. Alright, Zurong, looks like it's time for you to get to work again.
廉洁奉公，忍受苦难。
居安思危，未雨绸缪。
Honey, and I'm pretty sure you already work for me. Yeah, alright. You're drafted.
行事谨慎，可称机敏。
I feel like we should have... Yeah, basically, because we hadn't used him at all, and I honestly felt like we haven't, like, in this campaign, you know, and due to the previous one, I was sort of like, oh, you know, we've dragged him out of his peaceful time in the north, because this was, in addition to us doing our thing, like, this also was very much like a good guy Dongmin campaign, right? Like, he peaced out with everybody. The Emperor didn't get upset with him. He had, like, high favor. He just, like, acted like a bro, you know, like, until all this had to happen. Of course, he sees things my way. We know he's on our side. But, agri economy boom done next turn. We might actually be overextended in money. We'll just turn up the juice a little bit. If that'll... Yeah, that won't push us over the line anywhere that we don't already have somewhere. This one, we can dance with it for a turn or two. I just don't want to go bankrupt next turn. Alright, let's see how the intern goes. It should be okay, right? We should be alright. Sensa is in a position where I know where he is, and what's he gonna do? Take the Jade Mine? I mean, he could. And that would mess up this replenishment. We've got 2 other stacks here. And they're not jokes. Like, this dude's got the terror-causing armor, so, like, he's gonna put up a performance, right? I sure hope, right? We're gonna give him something else, too. The lunchbox? No, that's silly. Oh, we've got the old cheaper retinue. That'll be nice somewhere. There we go. The Stone Statue of Confucius. That's the one, because you get the morale for melee cavalry and the instinct. Yep. You know, they do have 600 charge, but especially if we just, like, keep our squares, because they don't like to charge into them, and then... I like our like, man, our fight against Yuan Shao, dude, they're so strong. But I think, too, because I jumped him, and we were in, like, a forest on the ambush, and because we have so much more evasion than them, and they might have even had, like, ignore forest, and I definitely didn't. And, yeah, and we lost, you know, so much of our evasion, but we got melted and surrounded. But, you know, it's not going to happen again. We're going to do better next time. Probably. And we have a big ol' battle to have. Now, the second stack is beat up. But, of course, we do have... Some fine fighters here, and some regular fighters. We're gonna have, you know, we've got a brilliant strategist around, so that'll be good against them. But they, you know, we'll just have to draw out their powerful guys and beat them down. We did, of course, get Big Mace. They just aren't an amazing matchup. Yeah. And they have a really good charge bonus, and we were sitting still as well. So they have, you know, twice as much of a charge bonus as we do. We were sitting still, and, you know, their evasion was basically 0, but that's less impactful than us going down to 20 from being in the trees as well. And then, yeah. We're a lot more armored than them, but, you know, our split of AP and not is... They basically do the same amount of damage, right? But hopefully we'll do better. He was in the pool, you know, basically right when the war kicked off. He ran on over. He was like, hey, oh, you met Zhuge Liang. That's good. That's great. All right, let's get started here. And also, the other thing, definitely, that I don't anticipate for ambushes, right? Because so much of how my tactical plan, such as it is, operates is always having a sort of skirmish phase or opening up with artillery or whatever, and then, you know, dragging them in and trying to give battle in a good spot. But with the ambush, I feel like if you don't immediately fight them, they just get away. And like I just don't I don't do ambush as well. We're gonna assume that they're gonna be deployed like over here to try to reposition there, and we just wanna like, do we want to fight there, or do we want to move up here, move the trebs this way, and then no, we will fight here. Only good for forced engagements, like, yeah, exactly. Because if you get them to move a lot further forward, it's not like, you know, they just maybe wouldn't have walked up. And then even if you run away, just by baiting them forward, and then you can take a good advantage, like getting yourself a night battle. Protectors in the rear with... Alright. Crucially, we do get them forward. Here into the... Waiting, guys. Oh, we're getting reinforcements, however, from the garrison rather than a whole bunch of Weion's army, so that is bad. We could just make them leave. Look, we'll keep Spear... No, not Spear Warriors. We'll make them leave, too. We're gonna get some real guys on this battlefield, right? So we don't want to fight in range of their tower. We also don't want... Alright, so... One of you hit those Vanguard crossbows. Ooh, they have an oil patch. That's excellent news. That'll really hurt them. Alright, now... There we go. Much better. And the Vanguard crossbows are absolutely what we want the artillery to be on. And Zhongyong is here. He's got mending. So there's a lot of problems here. We also don't need to be taking any of these duels. We're just going to turn it off so I don't get tempted. I'll do it myself if it ends up being smart to do, right? I'm like, we need to shoot at him. Like, just please start shooting, buddy. We've given you a bow. Like, actually, if they want to get this far in front, they don't really, though, do they? They just want to, they want to provoke me. I'm unwise. Alright, we're gonna get away. Because, the Trebs aren't out of ammo yet, so there's really no point in fighting Cav that's better at fighting than we are. Until they get a little more loosened up here. Problem is their crossbows are about to... Yeah, we're about to be getting shot up, right? And this is the problem with fighting Yuan Shao's forces. Like, our reinforcements are too far away, also. Well, time to make it count. We've got a roar. Yeah, we've got a roar. So that's good. Hey, Nickman, how are you? Oh, we're starting this war up, and it's it's very exciting stuff because they're better at fighting than I am, and they're smarter than I am. I don't know what to do about it, so we're just gonna charge in. It's not very effective. Yeah, I'm so worried about all this. Well, time to open up, right? Alright, our reinforcements are actually here just in time. We're going to be able to fire there and there. Actually our reinforcements get there before theirs do. Oh, how about that? How do you like them apples? Of course, we're going to be in tower range. That's not so good. Alright, we need to get Zhu Shu out of there. We'll hit a roar here and hope to basically get a lot of them disengaged. We just need to make sure we don't get a bunch of damage. Like, for example, by getting Zhangyang stuck on us. Alright, we got off of the horse at him. That's not smart. Let's get back on our horse. Alright, he's about to get on the trebs. I don't... You know, this countercharge might work. Oh yeah, they're, you know, they're going right onto the squares, so right where we want them, right? Because they're trying to reform back there or something. That's not going to work for them, right? And now we are making contact with their cavalry. These are going to make their way in. Caltrops! I have no idea if it even works. We're going to pretend it does. We're going to get off of our horse here and fight him. Alright, Zhangyang has fallen. So, you know, that worked. Our men are running, spineless cowards! Alright, we need to break the square here to fight. Well, it's not all bad news everywhere, right? We're going to shoot at these Lancer militia. It's actually not all bad news at all, because our reinforcements here are doing just fine. And actually, this pincer, very good indeed. Very good indeed. Wow, I like my army now. Well, what we needed to do was not deploy in a forest. Jiling having a party here, you know. Everyone's embroiled. They're all stuck here on the square. It's good stuff, you know. Also, lack of squares. You gotta have more squares. And they are really, really in for it, right? Alright, and Jiling beats down both of the... Yeah, like 3 of the enemy generals. What a... You know, he heard me call him generic. And he said, "You what? I am a special boy." You know, very, very good work he did on this battlefield, no doubt of that. Get back on that horse, old boy. Now it's time to get on over here. Yeah, this battle has gone beautifully. You know, not clean. They have a good army, but really, really well. We chose a good spot to give the battle. It's funny how quickly this campaign escalated. 5 shooters of fighting them, and then we would have to... Yeah, you know, I wasn't expecting it to really go that way, but sometimes you check in Federation, and that's, you know, because, like, the people are inspired by greatness, are they not? They are. And who's greater, you know, who's greater than Liu Bei here? We proved it by fighting the Nanman so well. Oh, we need to get... engaged here. Get the last of them, and then... Of course, the good thing about Yi archers is they fire while moving. Zhu beaten down on the man, but of course he's stronger fighting, but we should just use the ability and hit him for 10,000.
敌是无胆鼠辈。
Yeah, see? Like that. Unless it didn't work. Yeah, like that. Gao Shun did not get back on his horse, but that's okay. We're going to charge in here and then hit him with the roar. You can use Imperial decrees in unification? I see. And Yeongyang now entirely juiced in damage. But we're just going to run our guys forward and get off our horses at them. And then we're going to point-blank range fire enfilade into them and watch them all fall down, right? Oh yeah, that's the good stuff there. Look at that. You know, sure, it's not really hurting them very much, but it's about sending a message. Oh, because the favor goes away once you get it, of course. I wish there was a king stage of, you know, even though it wasn't very long, of, like, you know, vassal kings before, but, like, before declaring emperor, you know, rather than it being an immediate thing. Even if it was just, like, you know, a couple of years where, you know, everybody would know. But that went awesome. Sure, they weren't full stacks, but neither were ours entirely full. That's what Duke is supposed to be. Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, because you do get the Prime Minister there, so you get your first... I guess it's just like you go from one Prime Minister, and then you get like 5 times that amount of bonuses on top of... Like, I think Duke should have some... Yeah, the reforms are just slow. Or Duke should have some, you know, some... Not items, some guys attached to it. Some units. But, you know. It goes very well indeed. Xiling, absolutely the hero there. And, you know, Gao Shun, the formation breaker. You know, all he has to do is roar some, and then everybody feels better. Very good indeed. And here we're just going to do a little fast forward. We actually have 6 units of cavalry here. You know, we might be able to hold them in front of the towers. I mean, for a little bit, not like forever. But I mean, like, 6 units of yellow cav. We can maybe get something done on the front here. And we'll have... Yeah, this is actually quite nice coverage altogether. And then we can do, you know, like an old, the old shuffle. We'll try to do it like there, probably. Because really the important thing is just to keep them distracted so the towers will hit them a little bit. And then, you know, try to get a cav engagement with their 600 charge bonus cavalry and then act surprised whenever they melt me. No, we're going to send everybody over here where they don't have very much cav. They still have some. It's probably enough to totally destroy me, huh? Oh yeah, because we're not going to, like, go through their lines. We're going to... Well, you know. They can't all be winners. I figure, you look, they don't have any... They don't have any spears over here. If I just charge in and charge out, what's the worst that'll happen? It could be very bad, but I bet it'll be, like, okay. Oh, they got, like, some G... They got some G militia here. Well, you know, it turns out that 6 units of these guys can't do anything. They killed 50 militia. I mean, that's something. Let's get inside. We don't need to throw the whole thing away because I'm dumb. Man, 600 charge bonus cavalry, just too good, huh? Get a little bit away from their troops and then charge back in. After all, if we don't get any work done here, we still have to fight these very, very reasonably powered troops right afterward, right? I don't think that puddle's gonna see any action here. Hey, we made the cavalry run. Well, there's a little bit of pride for us. And now we know the one cav unit is there. We're gonna try to chase them down. I bet we'll just run away, though. Yeah, okay, they're gonna run back into us. That's not gonna work. Yes, we charge the cavalry and then die. Hey, well, those militia didn't make it at least. Yeah, we got something done here. Not much. A little bit of something. But I mean, we actually did very solid damage to their militia. Not like we couldn't just get rid of them by running them with generals anyway. But yeah, I'm very scared of their cav. I'm just terrified of Wu in general. This is the Jade Mine, I think. Alright, so while we could sign peace with him, I want to capture the elephant. And just as planned, we wait here, and they do not stay in the pass. They get bored. The fools. 50%, yeah. It's a good chance. Alas. Well, we can take another one. He's green, so he's not going to die here. 38%, yeah, yeah.
憧憬胜利，尔等必将无往不利。
Well, looks like we don't get him, but alas. We get the pass, and we get the avenge ability, which is going to be big splash, melee evasion into the dumpster. Of course, it only lasts for 10 seconds, but hey, you know, it's still, you know, hopefully the splash will be pretty big. Level of victory affects it. Ah, so if we have less reinforcements and stuff that could benefit it. I see. Alright, in this army. Yeah, so with... Alright, well, maybe... Alright, so range for everybody, that's going to be awesome, right? Going from 200 to 240 on the archers is just excellent. We're going to smear the Emperor Contender. That'll show him. -3 mustering turns and 25 redeployment is so good for 500 gold. Because the mustering turns, with all of it going down, like, you get your full army. It gets me 80% in a single turn, which is just real good. And we're going to reset Guajia's tree, and then we're going to see that personality trait rerolling will never hit another person that we want it to again. But 2 more turns of the new dynasty, and then we'll be more where we want to be, which is to say, the public order will be stabilized. Did he just move here? Yeah, he did. Oh, because he doesn't know that we're gonna go here.
正在行进。为了天下大义。
Yep. Well, you know, actually we did really good work against the cavalry relatively, right? You know, that's it's almost half of the cav strength down, and now it's time to fight. Oh, Guajia has levels. We're going to starve out so that he can distribute his levels. That's right, we just gave him the stuff. Alright, across the top. He's got foresight, which of course is the best sight. We go to fire arrows. More important than deluge. Yeah, the brothers are healthy. Yeah. It's all good. He'll have trebuchets, although, like, we can't start the fight with him, so we'll have to bring him up slowly. But I imagine we'll just burn the stuff down and then, you know, get to it. Of course, Wu's armies, these aren't the same as the problems we've been having with the other armies. It's the cavalry being insane that's the problem with Wu's armies, right? Now, unfortunately, we have nothing to do but run up and get shot by the towers. Fortunately, though, we do have very good morale. And if the cab come out, we'll run up and move to squares and
看，我方援兵抵达战场。
we just been garrisoning especially camps, yeah, you know, because if they hold the cavalry back, their cavalry are extraordinary, but not if they won't charge. Oh, and the Merc infantry, oh, the humanity, right onto the flaming puddle. You'd think they worked for me, these poor guys.
离胜利又近了一步。
Get out of the forest. Alright, and we just got to the 240 range thing, which also gives us a huge advantage over these guys and puts us at almost parity with those jokers that, you know, Yuan Shao has access to. Just absolutely burning it all down. Brutal stuff. Because we still have a ton of ammo here. Somebody's brilliant. Maybe. Also historical precedent for this. If we would have an event. Yeah, the old fire attack, very classic. And poor Wu, you know, if only they had seen things my way a long time ago. But, you know, he didn't have to attack us. We were giving him a single food. If he was willing to pay us, like, good money, we would have given him even more. But, you know, he wasn't really trying to, so what are you gonna do? Oh, we actually outranged these towers, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess they don't have quite 240 range, or they do, and the arc is just such that the one isn't hitting me, but that's alright. We're gonna continue hitting them, and then, you know... it'll eventually be time to actually start fighting them. I mean, someday. Think how brave you would have to be, but I guess you wouldn't feel like you have a choice, right? Because, like, look at the bones. There's just... okay, now they're coming out. Okay, they can't stand it anymore. And they do start deleting a unit, but, you know, that's what our support is for there. Like, to just sit there under thousands and thousands of arrows, but of course, the horror of the siege is that the armies outside are even more terrible than staying put. Or at least more terrifying. The Emperor said they can't just leave. Exactly, exactly. Oh, right, he wouldn't have reckless luck. Well, at least there's that. And, like, he has all these other bonuses, he doesn't, though. I'm like, I can't believe I haven't noticed them. Well, he doesn't have them. He has just, like, cheaper troops from heroism, right, basically. On guard, I challenge you! The God of War goes to fight. Will he reign victorious? I sure hope so. And while they can't abandon the Emperor is about to be having a real bad time here. Oh no, of course. So too are we. We're gonna hit him with a -100 here. Which actually, is that enough to instantly win a duel? Oh, could you just cheese a duel that way? Do they run from a duel from morale? We can't see there. But I guess, like, you know, yeah, we can run... You break the whole thing with the Zhangfei Roar. I actually hadn't used it yet. Which actually, oh man, yeah. So if you got an unbreakable hero in like a line of spears or whatever, you hit the roar, they all run, and then you get the beat down pretty quick. And it looks like Sun Tzu is in the dirt here. Can't put up with it. They do. Oh yeah, that's. I mean, it's one use, but that's still real good. But we weaken them up, and then we run inside. Alright, this guy's got a regular roar, and he has terror, which is just so good. Like, this dude, and everything in his retinue has terror. We've got to get this guy somewhere. And we've got Guojia with him to give him some teeth. We might get a different champion in here, or a different guy entirely. But, you know, I kind of, because it has to be a generic Vanguard, but, you know, I think Wei Kong needs a, needs some people to run around with to have an epic story, because that armor is just so good, and I can't wait to leverage it more often. And Sun Tzu fell victim to one of the classic blunders. He has gotten involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known as this. All the more since Lu Bu can do it. Oh, right. And Zhang Bao had, like, I think it was a 3-use negative 50. But, which we might get eventually. We started building schools and stuff in a lot of places, because, you know, education is very important. It calls him a warrior. Is he a guy? Yeah, it looks like he was randomly generated. Oh, so he's a person. Oh, awesome, awesome. Vanguard when he probably shouldn't be. What's he? He's graceful, charismatic, and vengeful. Gotta love that about him. Which, that's just awesome, because we eliminate his army. Of course, mercenaries muster quickly, but it's about sending a message. And importantly, you know, he's going to feel a little panicked by that. He's going to be like, man, was this really a good idea? Should I have done this? We move to ambush here, hoping that he'll move a little too far forward. I mean, actually, we could just move a little forward and ambush. Registrar and Chang'an regard him well. Oh, engineer recommend. So he should probably be a strategist. I see. Yeah. Anyone who's got, you know, an entry in the record about how those guys thought he was doing his job well, you know, probably didn't bribe them. May have done. No, nobody's blameless, right? Not in this time. But yeah, so we did hit the taxes there. All right, so we just be a little bit negative for a couple of turns, but we can swing it for a couple of turns, so we're just going to keep the taxes there, right? Because our other negatives, even if they're at negative, you know, 13, that's just into, yeah, we'll, yeah, right before it clicks over, We can just exempt them. It's still worth like 5,000 to have the taxes up, so we'll just exempt this one more time, and then all the other ones will be fine. He's in charge of Jiqing during Ma Chao's rebellion. Could have held up to longer, but surrendered to Ma Chao to relieve the people of the city. Well, hopefully that worked out well. You know, man, the sieges of this time period, they can really be rough reading when you get to the what happened part. I mean, that's true of true of any time period, but as you've remarked before, they were sort of like a callous allowing of the massacre of civilians after cities were taken, which, you know, even if par for the course, is very clearly not actually what you have to do, even in a war, on account of how plenty of people, you know, don't have to make that part of getting their empire. Like, isn't that the one great thing we can say about Liu Bei, or did he do that one time? Anyway, don't tell me, I don't want to know. He's my special boy. No, I'm just kidding. You know, obviously I don't think we should shy away from the truth. Even and especially if it's about your own, you know, golden boys. Right, so they are all beat up here. Zhao Yun, don't you think you would be happier with me? Don't you? Don't you? He doesn't have Elemental Vigor yet. They took Night Battle instead. And this line, this is so bonkers to me. Like, you could have went over here. Alright, we can't reach them. Are they going to move this way? I think we just move here to ambush, because I don't want to overextend. Even though I'm Lu Bu. We don't want to overextend, because we just want a regular extend, right? Move, ambush here, be able to move a little bit forward. This is still my land here. So we can very happily wrap them up. They went to march to get away, which of course means we get to give them a little choked out. Ma Chao, of course, being Ma Chao, pulls a Ma Chao. Yeah. Ma Chao, blow the guy. Alright, so we move there, and then if we roll here, we'll be able to pull the whole garrison out too, which is going to be great, right? Because this is a lot of people inside here, and then we'll be able to grab them, and then hopefully make it to... Yeah, because he's in March, he can't get away. Oh, what a... this would make me just hot if it happened to me as a player, but it happened to the computer, and that makes me smart. We pop in here. We're going to have a field battle against this totally trash-canned army, and this other one that's beat up and that doesn't have the range damage to stand and shoot. And then, yeah, what's not to like? Now, we are beat up on Jue, but we still have 3 healthy dudes, and they don't have really anybody healthy. Yeah, their fighters are all beat up, and the only people they have here are just thinkers. Well, get wrecked. Haha. I knew the war up here would go better, or I hoped it would. Yuan Shao's unique units are really good. You know, I've said this a million times, but what an example of a great DLC faction, and how acutely you feel that you're not him when you fight against him, even without the retinues being juiced, you know, because the AI doesn't do that so much. Like, man, just the crossbows and just, like, the having access to good green infantry without having to go deep into reform, you know, like, real solid. They put their tower in Vanguard. Is that legal? I gotta get Vanguard deployment for my towers. Because we could just do this, and I think we will, and just pop them before they even get here. So I've got like 10 ammo, and that should be enough to melt them before they even know what's happening. Yuan wants the glory here, right? Sure, there's a tower, but... He does not want to delay, and he is not forced to delay. Alright, so... all y'all come up here, we'll talk to you later. Oh, we ran right into some brace spears. That's alright. I mean, it's gonna be alright. We're gonna drop this AP, or rather, the Wizard of the River, which renders all of our damage perfect. The Azure Dragons, of course, having bows, are really gonna benefit from this pretty well. And now, Furia Bahai showing up, and the rest of our archers are as well, coming into range. Got a little puddle of mud there, a little anger puddle. We're just gonna move here to try to take the tower here. Their reinforcements streaming in slowly and then quickly. I'm not gonna get here in time, of course. Not until we have absolutely demolished these guys, and by that I mean had our cavalry get totally tuned up. Oh my goodness. You know, that's what I get for bragging, huh? You want to duel me? Very well, I accept. Oh wait, please stop fighting these spears. Their morale is about to break, and right as we do it, you know, there's 9 of them here. It's all good. Hey, you know, the Trebs are actually getting there. Oh, those are our Trebs, I'm just kidding. Oh no, he gets locked up and... Alright, well, at least he wins. I'm like, why am I always running my strategist in? This guy has good abilities and we need him alive. Or rather, we want him alive. And that's the same as needing him alive. We start the fire so that we don't accidentally walk over the fire later. Hit him with the roar. Oh, right, we got off of our horse. Either that or somebody got us off of our horse. It doesn't matter which. Nobody can remember the past. It's like I thought the roar was going to get at least one unit to run. It didn't. But alright, dealing with that cavalry block pretty well. And Weiyuan's just having a party here. Do we want to use Reckless Strike? Yeah, I think so. We just want to... He was surrounded by a lot of guys. I thought we could get some value out of it. Oh, they took the tower back. Well, that's not good. Alright, they're trying to wheel to face these ones, and now we will charge in and break them with a devastating attack from all around. Oh my goodness, well, I didn't mean with the trebuchet. Like, I bet we're due for another roar right here. Oh, well. These guys are not engaged, and they really should be. Cavalry sort of back here, but they're with Yi archers who are good at fighting. And after their charge is gone, they're not so great themselves, you know. And then these spear guards fight much longer against my combined cavalry forces than I would have wanted. I guess, you know, they are heavy spear guards, and we didn't cycle charge, so after the original surround, not a lot done there. We're gonna escort the cavalry off with the strategist here. That probably won't come back to haunt us. These are just regular crossbowmen. We don't need to send them into melee. Ye archers can go, though. And a few seconds on a roar, which should break this wide open here. Oh yeah, and then it's about to be over for them. This other army's about to show up, right? They finally waddled over. I'm like, yeah, that's right. You're gonna be sorry when our friends arrive. And of course, they are sorry. And we're able to get into all of their archers unsupported. We'll see what that'll be worth, but we're in there. Flanking attack here. You know, when our trebs get there, they're really going to be sorry. That's why you don't bring a duke to a king fight, right? Because even if you're like a pretty good duke, what's gonna happen to you, you know? What's gonna happen when the rest of the reinforcements get there, Yuan Shao? We could have been friends, Yuan Shao. There's literally no reason for you to have attacked me, Yuan Shao. Literally none. I have never done anything to him. Ever. Not to get all preachy, but you guys know it's true. I literally have never. We didn't fight him. I sold him food. I don't think I ever spied on him.
万民之声不可小觑。
Hey, Yuan Shao got brilliant. Still vain and sickly, but hey, brilliant's pretty good.
放他们回家去吧。都是为各自信念而战罢了。狗贼有话快说，一见你就心烦。
And of course, he doesn't want to work for us. He would get peace with us, like, pretty easy at this point, but so what, right? Like, what we need to do afterward. He's allied with Cao Wei. I don't have a way to make him break that. Of course, he's only hit a negative 19 for abdication. He is upset with what's happened to him. So too must Sun Sibi, right? I mean, really, the only happy people in China is everyone who lives in my land. Pay no attention to the public order. They're really happy to be here. Saving after a battle, because you save after a battle. We can't catch them. We just go here. Right, yeah.
手握胜利，鼠辈之地由我们接管了。
And he's, yeah, like, in the mountains, so now he'd have to use all of his movement to get out again. Which maybe's indeed. Like, I do wish there was, like, a leave Emperor as figurehead option, you know? You know, like the real style, you know? Like, yeah, he's still here, but, you know... He's the emperor, you know, but he's over, you know, like in some city not doing anything. Where you got like some of the benefits of having it, you know, without like banishing him, but you know, you still depose him or whatever.
行动要快。
Because, like, why, logically, would we have to, you know, let him put his face on the money, you know? After so long, he probably didn't even know that he's allowed to run stuff. And that's what Standing Duke is like, right, yeah. Because, well, yeah, I guess because if you have the Emperor... Even if they declare... Or does the Emperor just, like, dissolve when they declare? Or you still have the Emperor if you don't. If you have control of him and then you keep on, you know, doing your things. The Imperial Course of Healing. It's true. But, you know, if they gave you access to the Imperial Court just for holding the Emperor, that would make it way too good early on. Or at least moderately good early on. Alright, what do we want to build here? Could be anything. Schools. We're a school-based economy now.
前进，且等敌人中我军埋伏。
告诉他们，我来了，准备伏击。
原地候命。
Oh, he's in for it now. Indeed. You know, it really... And that's the thing, too, Luke, as you point out, like, how rude, right? Because... That's not the first time Sun Tzu has declared war against us, right? For nothing. And we, you know, gave him quite an established commandery. Liu Bai died of despair afterward, right? You know, and then now look at him. The ink on that agreement barely dry. And he turns against us again. Cast ye not your pearls before swine, you know. And I'm sorry, you know, you hate to say it about your own son-in-law, but Sun Tzu has not been behaving well. And, you know, someone's going to give him a stern talking to. Yes, they certainly are. There we go. That gives us several thousand already from the corruption, and that is our level 5 copper coin mint, which is going to give us big corruption reduction all across. We got 2 copper mines here and here, right? And then I got a third one somewhere right here. And then a 4th one, question mark, I thought I remembered. Maybe not. But still, very excellent. Oh yeah, that's going to be awesome, right? When those are done, those are each going to be worth a couple of thousand each, right? Ooh, proper, not Sun Tzu. No, right, that's right. I'm like, I thought I remembered seeing more, right? So there's one here, of course, and then, yeah. But, very excellent, you know. Man, the Nanman loves are so rich and lucrative. What a campaign, right? After all. We did it the right way. If we hadn't done it, like, man, the Nanman lands are worth so much to us here. And Wu's not going to be able to get them back. You know, if they send an army or two, we'll just destroy, you know, them with the land itself. Or to save on postage. Can we get it in time? No, we cannot. That is too bad. Well, fortunately, they are super beat up. And in March stance, so they can't replenish there. Well, you know, I thought we'd be able to get there, but it was not to be, alas. I don't think they'll pop us. I mean, after that fight anyway, what, like 1 turn of replenishment, they're not going to have what it takes to get back there. I don't think they'll have anybody else to get in here, right? How many more troops can they have? Yeah, because we have Zhuge Liang and Lu Bu's armies up here. These are like the most not slouch armies that we've got to. Like, they're real good. And by that, I mean the girls are good. And the Lu Bu, Lady Du is like, oh man, I really, really like her as a commander companion to a guy like Lu Bu. But of course, do you want a red and a yellow in the same army? Maybe. Because this negative speed and negative melee evasion thing, it's so crazy. You just jump in, lock them down, and then, well, before they stand up, just deleted. Anyway, we need that with Cao Cao on the field, and then... Alright, dreaming big now. In just a couple handfuls of turns, we're going to have a whole lot more money. That's going to be good, and all we have to do now is... keep on winning. Just keep on winning. Don't ever not win. No, obviously we could afford the back foot. So, like, what I need... look at poor Yuan Shao here, yeah. But what I need is for, you know, this to happen. We need to hold and then get Wu and Wei to declare against each other because, like, it's just outrageous for them both to fight me and not each other when they hate each other deeply. And that minor faction sure is sorry now. You don't think we need them to fight each other anyway? Maybe not need, but I want it to happen, right? I'm winning this question. Yeah. Supplies destroyed, sabotage stockpiles, all of that's fine. As long as we don't see any looters spawn up here, we're all totally fine, and, like, you guys can get wrecked. One more turn of public order problems, and then we are off to the races. Oh! This guy's got organized guerrillas. 15 attrition to hostile forces. Maybe that works. Ah, yes, the wife, indeed. That would be sensible. The Empress Wooly rides. Couple of Merc Infantry. I actually kind of like these. I mean, I don't, though. I do. If we had them against Nanman, where they're so heavily shielded, I would want them. Get some Imperial Gate Guards, you know, for style. That dude I like, but I happen to know that's the Poison Volley Sentinel, and no one needs a good weapon less than a Poison Volley Sentinel. After all, if they have a good weapon, you might go and use it. And for all of that, she doesn't have movement range when commanding. Well, none of them do, because we didn't take it on the Nightingale. Which means it's the Empress's army! Naturally. The Lady Wu, with her intimidating mien, will inspire those of our foes that dare stand against us to reconsider. While you get there, get the reinforcements in. Hey, nice place you got here. Someone must have done a lot of work on it. Punks. Yeah, there we go. Dongmin, 17 years old, still getting damseled at. She's 53, but her beauty is eternal after all. The main important thing about her being 53 is that she's going to be able to fight for us for many years to come. Oh man, when this ticks over and we get to put the taxes back up, and then like the corruption problems are gonna go away. Like, actually, is it worth it to rush them? Probably, right? I don't know. Yeah, I think. Did you say that for you? Hope he's never used all campaign. Yeah, you know, that would be fitting enough, right? He's just biding his time, like the Phoenix, waiting to emerge. I was like, come on? No, it was not to be. Strong good capturing. Yeah, that's why we had put her in command of the army. We had hoped to get Meng Huo, because I saw her trait there at 25, but we actually had like an auto with like 50%. I re-rolled it one time, but I wasn't trying to, you know, force it. I just wanted it, you know. But when it was not to be, it was not to be.
进攻！
And Yuan Shao totally on the back foot. You know,
乱军终于得以平
he
息。
really threw everything he had at us, right? You know, you do have to respect that. He doesn't want to live in a world where Liu Bei is in charge, but what's he gonna do, right? Like, what is he gonna do?
稍事休息，以逸待劳。
Because it is our world. Oh, look at this. Look here, he fell victim to one of the classic blunders, Zhang Liao.
原样，
You, sir, have made a mistake.
拉弓之时需
Do we just roll them up with Lu Bu's army and move forward here? I think so. Because then the girls could go and bash them here. This army is very beat up.
出发！耐心等候，敌军必中圈套。
I mean, this army can deal with this just fine. I think if we go there, they've got some White Horse fellows, but these armies are super mega beat up, and this army is fine. And they're in March.
摧垮他们。
Of course, they do have Zhao Yun here. We've got good fighters too, but you don't want to underestimate him. He doesn't have his abilities though, so you don't want to. You just want to estimate him, right? You don't want to over him. You don't want to under him. You just want to estimate him. They've got Trebs as well, which means we want to start inside of range. Yeah. Oh, we have 264 range on the crossbows, so you know that's more than they have on the White Horse fellows even. So that is going to which have 250, which is disgusting for skirmishers to have that long of range. And we'll have gate guards in the back to be, you know, the killer pair there. Fire will, yes. Because they don't fit under the distinction of always having fire at will on. They are different. You know, it's like, if a bunch of their troops want to hang out with their trebuchets, then I will very happily do counter battery fire. They have 3 towers. That's super rough. I would totally love to duel you, but I think you would win, buddy. I think you would win. Alright, good news, their traps popped. Bad news, we were still shooting at it. That's okay, though. At least they don't have big AP, and we do have very, very large armor values. Like, do you want to duel Yuan Ping? It seems not smart. I'm gonna do it anyway. After all, we've got Lucky Pearl, and he doesn't have his move. So this is the best chance to do it. And anyway, if she wins, won't that be a story? I think actually she's gonna win. Because again, he doesn't have his cool ability, and I do have mine. Yeah, I think maybe we'll win. We actually have pretty equivalent evasive stats. Fatigue got him, yep. Yep. Oh yeah, and he was marching, yeah. You know, he was so confident. Well, I hope as he loses, he says, "Who are you?" And she says, "Oh, maybe you've heard of my father." And he's gonna say, "Oh, why did I accept this duel?" And it'll follow her. Or he'll join me. And wouldn't that be a sight? Wouldn't that just be a sight? Speaking of a sight, their trebuchet came back online. Yuan Ping emerges victorious and with full HP afterward, you know. So not really that tuned up. They're really mad about it. She's got the old strategist sword of sorting, so we don't need to be too... The crossbow's happily shooting. Oh right, our cav got totally caught out there, so let's get out of shield wall, get out of shield wall. Actually, dropping artillery on that brick is the way to go here now. Zhuge Liang beating down the trebuchet. Nothing offends the side of a tragedist more than a siege engine that somebody else runs doing what it's supposed to do. That's just very, very hard for anybody to take. Aha! My girl! My beautiful, perfect girl! He wants to fight? He must have just been feeling it, you know? He's like, look, I want to send out my job application to Liu Bei. It seems like he's the sort of guy that maybe will have a lot of guys working for him soon. And how better to do it than to lose a duel to Yuan Ping, noted duelist who has just this very day defeated Zhao Yun. Yeah, no element vigor, I know. I'm just bragging because we have our ability that's cool and he didn't have his. And isn't that nice? Alright, we don't want to lose our trebs here. Guan Yinping emerges victorious again. Let's get him out of there. And they get like all the way on top of the trebuchets, but it's alright. And we run absolutely out of... Look, when you run out of ammo on crossbows, it takes a while at a 7 fire rate to run out of ammo. But we were... It was a long battle. And many of them shot basically the whole time. Yeah, you know, just massive ammo, and then... I mean, hey, 150 kills on a regular crossbow, that's real good, right? Like, sure, it's against this army, but it's still good. Certainly more than the Azure Dragons got. And these guys just hung out in the back the whole time, you know, good for them. Still, being able to hold things back so that you can shoot them with crossbows is an important part of an army. Man, I wish I had Imperial crossbows. That's a long way out. Maybe we can start going there now that we have our corruption in an alright spot.
放了他们吧，对我们好，留着他们不过是浪费物资。智慧如流水。
Maybe on follow-up. Indeed. I'm like, you know, I don't really care about the spies. 10% character experience, even though it's just like a building, just like a school, it's still better than that. Yeah, and they're so beat up here. We'll just move in this way. They're not going to have any other armies here. Where would they even come from, right? There, they wouldn't be able to get there. Mustering here, not enough time. Not enough time, yeah. He's certainly not going to be coming out of there, you know. And then Lubu, of course, gets to roll up here.
我方援兵抵达战场。
在。给我射！准备开战！瞄准！
You want to duel me? Very well, I accept.
你必败无疑。
And then you can do this, which is just like hysterical, right?
跑起来！速速前进！片甲不留！感受大地的愤怒吧！
You pop in there, and you throw the melee evasion on him. Maxes melee evasion, drop down their melee evasion by 100, and then it's a Lubu dueling against a guy who doesn't have armor, doesn't have evasion, and, well, they don't last too long, do they? 1, 2, 3. That's the Dao Chan shuffle. No, she's just there for moral support, right? You want to go? Yeah. This fight's a lot harder, of course, because we've already used all of our good abilities.
准备就绪！加快速度！
And they get Resolve of the Righteous also, but, you know. We'll give him the old Blossoming Beauty. That'll please him. And of course, he's just beating the brakes off of him. Even with evasion, you know, all he's got to do is hit him. And Lu Bu, you know, he doesn't have to fight too long to get real mad. Dao Chen is an inspiration. Oh, we never moved the reinforcements up. Well, that's alright. After all, I think we're doing okay. And like, oh, you guys are locked in here with me. And then we get his melee evasion down to nothing. He didn't really have much to begin with. They are Oathsworn. Which I learned in a previous battle, it actually was awesome, right? Because Zheng Liu died somewhere else, and then Lu Bu flipped out and got a heal, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. You know, it's always cool when you run into them on an opposing faction, and you get the good benefit from it. It's terrible when you don't realize it, and then your guy dies, and then they flip out and get stronger, and you're like, wait, no! You know, like a Lady Zhurong and Meng Huo sort of thing, but reverse. Because that did happen in one of our battles there, at near the end. But yeah, clean. And I'm glad that he spared him, he's a nice guy. And anyway, not getting him into the resiliency is just better anyway, right? Them living with 1 HP is so much better than going down to a yellow heart. Because we don't want him to get popped anyway. We want him to join us. And Lu Bu wins 2 duels and ends up with basically full HP again. Gotta love it. Classic. Timeless. You know, the heal from Dao Chen might have helped a little bit, which, you know, heals are pretty good. I don't think she heals herself. She might though. Maybe she does.
敌军仓皇逃窜，一群懦夫。
Clean. Super, super clean. Hey, and the reinforcements even show up at the end. But hey, that was that vanguard, right? Because I didn't want to, you know, I just wanted to fight immediately. And it was great. Sometimes just a little bit higher placement of your guys can really make a huge difference. Zhang Liao, work for me.
你我联手，必成大事。我放了这群废物，放了他们，让他们牢记我的大恩大德。 全军出击！我很满意。
And this guy, you know, sure he's red, but that's 3 Vanguard crossbows, and I actually am gonna keep him on him, right? We'll throw him in an army.
职责所在。
Talking off army buffs and Jiayun for duels. Qin Pu's army general buff is real good too, but I guess, I mean, when Zhang Liao's goes off, I mean, that's a dramatic thing whenever it works. And Jiayun, we know how he duels, of course. So does Guan Yunping. Yeah, my girl, daughter of the war god.
扫平天下。 保持原样，等待敌军进入埋伏。
A general other than him, yeah, exactly. For the whole map, but not him. Oh, corruption faction-wide. Oh, that's right. It crashed the other day whenever I was trying to do these, and it never. I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, didn't we make Zhang Fei Minister of Coach? That's like a very important thing to do. Like, I can't. Like, he must be very offended that we waited this long, right? And we made her the Minister of Ceremonies. And then we left these other ones open because I didn't know what to do with them. They didn't seem as important. Oh, you get an assignment for that? You get an assignment for that? Alright, let's make somebody the Minister of the Imperial Clan then. Seems important now. You know, Dongbai, you're a successful girl. Now you're the Minister of the Clan. Reserved for family members, right? Yeah, she's distantly related some way we don't know how, right? The Ma family and the Dong family. And the Hongfu family. Yeah, you know. It's because we're the Han Emperor, so, you know, the umbrella becomes pretty large. And makes it cheaper to pay a whole lot of these folks. What makes Oolong the minister there, you know? We had to call him out to war. In this timeline, that doesn't matter so much, but, you know, he's my guy. Alright, he's in March here, which is insane, right? Like, he knew I was here, and then he marched further in because he's just like me, and he's frustrated in Nanman lands.
都是为各自信念而战罢了。正在行进。
And then we just back right out. Yep.
时节。为天下苍生。
鼓起勇气。
Alright, what a wonderful turn. I can't... The fact that they just handed me all of this, and right on time... handed it to me. I mean, I was strong and I had really good relationships with everybody. And the fact that we got it not by being cheesy, but by actually, you know, fighting the enemies of our people, you know, good stuff. I mean, sure, we might have spared them more if I wasn't cognizant that we were trying to, you know, take care of... All right, yeah, we took this, so we'll just convert this and take this bad public order and turn it into good order. We'll keep the Directorate of Yuan. We don't need... like, everything in this whole thing is for public order. Like, public order here. Oh, because of the negative public order to the tax building. Now I understand. Never mind. It all makes sense. Disregard.
莫要急躁。注意！
I'm like, that's Cao Cao, that old dog. He's gonna be back. Yep, and in greater numbers. Sun Quan? Who are you fighting for? Hey. Hey. And we wait. We're not going to extract him right now. We wait. Oh, and he's an administrator of Hine. That's the capital now. No, he's just an administrator. Maybe he doesn't have anything. Anyway. We catch her here. 0% chance to capture him.
国军如有天助，气焰大盛。快滚回去吧！这次饶你们一命。稍事休息。
when you peace out with all his vessels, right? Yeah, he does have the 25 there. Oh, and Perceptive gives him 10 more. That's right, because I was looking at that earlier, and I'm like, oh, these are things that make it good for him to capture Menghu. You know, he's got the Perceptive trait, which is very nice for that reason. And here we... Right, so we're on the other side there. If he moves us in there, we get a revert. We just want to grab this real quick.
智者可巧避刀锋，为我等所用吧。
Somebody tries to pop my beautiful girl. How dare they? Oh, right. Public order is now totally fine. Except here. Which makes sense. Because there's a lot of people. And negative reserves from the supply thing, right? But everywhere else has it done. This was our place. We need to untax exempt it. There we go. That's worth another couple thousand. We need to get another commander so that we can do another one of those assignments. Never thought I'd say I needed another commander. But the tax assignment is just too good. And they all have it, I think. My girl! She's palling around with a eunuch. Good for her. She's cheerful. Real kind, fiery, and energetic. My girl. You know, her stats aren't as good as she is. Hey, she's got a bow. The hometown bow.
休息。
We just let her come in because we need to get rid of Shiji here, so we'll just let her get closer, right? Yeah. Oh, and they got all the way in here.
怒吼吧，消灭敌军！大义将临，莫敢不从。他们受的苦也够多了。
为了天下苍生。
How did they even get in that way? Oh, right here. From Badong, right.
向前进军。
Well, if he takes that, we take it next turn anyway. Yeah, he's got to walk through this way, so it's all good.
有话快说。
Because we go here, and now this is the same negative as was existing before, only we... yeah. Will be stable public order almost everywhere. Not here. Wait a bit for recover. I was like, most places are already fine though. Yeah, it's 6k a turn, but yeah, I guess we could just wait a little bit and then have everywhere a lot happier, which does matter. You're right. So we can just go ahead and get an army here. But whom? Well, I know who I'll send.
坚盾护体，利剑杀敌。
That's right.
威加海内，乱世遂定。运用智慧吧。
必须准备充分再开战。
We're gonna give him the empty lunch pail. We got a bodyguard.
潮起潮落，足以磨平巨石。
That'll give the Imperial Gate Guards and her retinue 83% evasion. Pretty good. Hansen, you believe is Hansui-san. Right. Yeah, I am benevolent with. Look, high taxes, but the people could still flourish, right? You know, it's not a problem. They're fine. They like the taxes, actually. And they're so on the back foot now. We have to figure that they just simply don't have any money for any more armies. They might have some, but... How long before it's outside just tries to swallow him up.
你若不再说谎，我等尚有的谈。
So here we can peace out with Wei.
朕屈尊与你谈判，还不够。
But we want to try to at least get Sun Chuan first. Repeat with Wu, President Chibia. Because we could just peace out with both of them. Stabilize a second. Get them out of my land. And continue on with this war in the north. But I want to try to get... Yeah. I saw yellow and I was like, we got him. No, we didn't get him.
奋勇死战，谈着，放他们回家吧。英勇奋战，关某必将威震华夏。
Alas.
他们也是忠勇之人。万物失节，我亦如此。
砥砺内心。天命在我，谁敢不服？
Mining knockback, nice. Going that could have been good too.
定筹壮志。
Let me grab this first too. Knowing that they're the vassal of somebody, probably. Might be in Yuan Shao's thing.
我变得更为真实了。
心境澄澈，天下庶几可定。
朕与你有什么好说的？
armies are all in the north anyway. Yeah.
扫平。某出征多日，唯愿城中诸事安好。
耐心。有话快说，朕可没时间跟蠢货废话。
I might try to take. Like, as I was saying, we want peace. I mean, do we? It would be nice to get peace with Wu, though.
朕准你觐见，实应叩谢天恩。
$4 grand. Or 1 clay pig.
“提的还算合理。
欢迎，请进。
We have a lucrative trade deal with them. It's so funny. Now any tax headed over for this time, we could probably repair. Yeah, for sure. And it'll give us just a little bit of breathing room here in the Nanman lands. 'Cause, you know, we didn't want to have to rebuild all of this. We didn't. Economy finally clicking. Like, let's just keep on spending money, right? You gotta spend money to spend money. That's the truth.
怒吼吧！今日此胜，乃承天之恩泽。向世人宣告我军大业。 坚持不懈，正在行军，以逸待劳，静候敌军，挫其锐志，憧憬胜利，尔等必将无往不利。 放了吧！路径明晰，
正在行军。
看我飘飘长髯，便知关某心秉忠义。
Well, then they ever get a stack of her own? We should give her one, huh? I mean, she's done so wonderfully. She's been a big champion. Because it's like the Pong Tong thing is almost like a big joke at this point, right? Like we have to keep on. If you do interference, you don't have to worry about additional cover cost. For the next 5 turns.
悉听尊便。
不只能忍了。
11 grand. A generous offer. That I reject.
真是无理。
Did he go to ambush? Probably. We're just gonna let him sit there, right? I'm just as smart as he is. I know he's there. I'm just as smart as he is. I know he's there.
君明，谁都逃不掉。
相信直觉。
想问点什么？
You know, Lu's been there longer, but Ma is her son, so let's go ahead.
谁在叫我？
You know, Flames is good. Roar is probably better in general for the way I play, anyway. Now we've got it. Oh, now we've got it. Now we certainly know who the strategist will be. Alright. These horse archers, are they good? They have poison shot and 92 ammo. We're not getting rid of them. Yes, indeed. He'll be the minister steward. He'd do better if he was, you know, like the herald or the justice. He did join up at a good time because he inspired a lot of other people to join, right? Such was the strength of his reputation.
悉听尊便。
awesome. And she's got the armor that gives her way more ammo, so I love this. And if she'd... the Junction campaign would have been so cool if we'd been playing with this mod pack. It was so cool anyway.
杀！并非明智之举。我等心怀忠贞，才有此胜。现在来尽情庆贺吧！
One more challenger in the dirt.
门外何人？
大人，愿一切安好。
欢迎，阁下请讲。
心怀怒火，奋勇杀敌，烈火燎原，回归原状。养兵千日，用兵一时。 乱军终于得以平息，
江河涌动，奔腾不息。
出发，耐心等候，敌军必中圈套。秋日一至，必树流金。
闻风而动，雷厉风行。把他们全打趴下！又赢了一次，此诚甚善，先收下了。
释放怒火吧！
This guy's just like leaving now. Get out of my land.
为了胜利。
You say to think just 3 years ago Yuan was considered invincible. 3 years ago it was. But look at our front now. Yeah, you could be forgiven for thinking that the other guys weren't doing so hot, huh?
秩序井然。朕与你有什么好说的？
不义，攻其不备。
原地候命。
Right. Yeah. It's pretty wild. We've just been behaving very well. It's their fault. If you think about it, they should give up.
无话可说。
But they won't. You know, they have to be dragged kicking and screaming into the new millennium. We're gonna see who's out there.
汇报一下，我不在的时候都发生了些什么？
Like, I know Cao Cao's there. I didn't know he was there. Chugong, you're not supposed to have that. My poor girl. Oh well. What can you do, right? Bandits sent to, right?
放他们回家吧。奋勇死战，堪称他们也是忠勇之人。
Release the downriver on Naboo. And we see there that he was indeed trying to ambush, and now he feels less happy about it.
恢复原样，砥砺内心，全军出击，天命在此。
廉洁奉公。
All right.
撤退。
Quick save there, but anyway, we're gonna end for the night. I totally would play for another hour and a half, but I gotta quit. I gotta quit playing until 2 a.m. I just have to. It's very rude for me to do. Plus, I can't get as excited as I want to get about the big battles to come. So we'll do them in the morning. Whenever I get up, I'll be making coffee and playing this. It's all I ever think about now. I like this game so much. And this campaign is going wonderfully. And even if we would be inclined to peace with Cao Cao, not while this guy is the minister of the Imperial household. How's he even related to Cao Cao? But anyway, he can't be allowed. You can't be allowed to go around with that, so there will be no peace while he bears a weapon he has no right to. No peace, I tell
自信
you.
无声，千善改过。
But we're gonna stop now. Liu Bei hits level 10. We'll get the redeployment probably, and then probably I'm like, we can just get rid of the archers eventually. He'd be so good for you know, Imperial Palace cavalry if I had them. But yeah, we'll probably get flexibility and nobility there, I imagine. But we'll do it all later. He hits level 10, and he's only 53. But yeah, it's pretty good. Zhongfei with the most kills. Good for him. Things are progressing nicely. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really hope you've enjoyed. I know I have. Once we finish rolling up here with Zhurong, we need to drop this army and get it up here so that we can get elephants into this war. I don't want to use the elephants against Wu. I don't want to get countercharged and get deleted by their cavalry. I want them in this war against Wei, whose cavalry is sticky, but not really killy. I mean, pretty killy, but not really killy. But that will go for when I get up in the morning. We'll have plenty of good fights to do as we wash against the foe. Piecing out with Wu just feels so good because, you know, he's not going to be able to
朕准你觐见，实应
put
叩
things
谢
back
天恩。
together, right? Right, we don't need to do anything else. We're going to bed. Good night, Luke. Appreciate you hanging out. Always a pleasure. And maybe I'll see you in a later stream or video. That's a great map of China, it is. Sure, we could have locked this down, but just very good indeed. Very exciting times, but I'm gonna have to find a way to go to bed all the same. Can't be excited forever. Sleep is for the weak and the cousin of death, but it's also my future. So, see you guys.